This is the Offside, and welcome to another episode of the Real Recap, where we cover the latest news and rumors surrounding Real Madrid. But without further ado, let's get started. In their latest game, Real Madrid took on Bayern Munich at the Santiago Bernabeu for the return leg of the semi-finals in the Champions League. Madrid looked great from the start in this game. They had a lot of the ball and were creating good opportunities to score. Two players really stood out to me in the first half. The first one was Toni Kroos. This man literally controlled the entire first half. He always makes the correct pass. He always is in position to receive a pass from his teammates. And in that first half, Toni Kroos could do no wrong. Toni also particularly liked a certain play where he crosses the ball across field to Dani Carvajal. And speaking of Dani Carvajal, he's the second standout player to me in that first half. Honestly, this game, I feel like Dani Carvajal just showed us that he's the best right back in the world right now. I believe he's only 32, which is crazy because everyone feels like he's a lot older because of how many games he's actually played for Madrid at top level. But this season, Dani Carvajal has embodied the aggressive defensive nature that Madrid always has. He's not afraid to get down and dirty, and in this game, he fought for every loose ball. He came in with every tackle with an aggressiveness that very few players nowadays have, all while still giving Madrid an attacking option down that right wing as well. Carvajal was excellent in this game. Madrid created a lot of opportunities to score in that first half. They controlled the ball and they controlled the game, and they were for sure the better team. But with that being said, the first half still ended up 0-0. I enjoyed the game up to this point, but in the back of my mind, all I was thinking was that we needed a goal. So once the second half started, Vini Jr. just decided to sit up in his chair and said bet. I mean, Vini Jr. just destroyed Kimmich at every occasion. So naturally, Bayern had to offer him some help, and 2v1 still was not enough to contain Vini. The man was on a mission, and every single time that he received the ball, I just felt like something good is going to happen here. Vini was unbelievable, and he created a lot of opportunities to give Madrid the lead. But Madrid still could not capitalize and put the ball in the back of the net. The team seemed in control of the game, but I just kept thinking, we need a goal. We just need to have the lead right now. And then Bayern Munich basically pulls Real Madrid's favorite trick out of their bag, and they used it against us. They weren't in control of the game at any point, but they had one counterattack and they made it count. They found Alphonso Davies down the left wing. Rudiger did well by forcing him on the inside to his weaker right foot, but Alphonso Davies just put in one of the best goals he's probably ever scored in his entire life. Now, Madrid actually needed to score now, or they'll be eliminated. Now, this is where Carlo Ancelotti himself stepped up. He made sure that some of the changes he made, even without substitutions, were to increase the pressure and create more opportunities, create a more aggressive attack going forward. And then when it comes to the substitutions, he made two very good substitutions in my opinion. He took off Rodrigo and brought in Brahim Diaz. At first I wasn't entirely sure if I liked this substitution or not, but Brahim always gives us a lot going forward when he comes in. He also ended up taking off Federico Valverde and he brought on Joselu. I love Federico Valverde and everything he gives to this team, but in this game in particular, I understood it because he wasn't having his best game. With the substitutes coming on, they gave Madrid some new energy, so Madrid kept pressing for that goal that they desperately needed. But 38-year-old goalkeeper Manuel Neuer was so annoyingly good up to this point. But there were a couple changes to the Bayern team which I believe messed it up completely. They're in the lead, so I understand trying to defend that lead, but he threw everything out the window and focused solely on defending that lead. Musiala went down from an apparent injury, so he's off. Then Thomas Tuchel doubled and tripled down on the defensive structure he wants to implement against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu in the Champions League. He took off their best player Harry Kane and the other only attacking option Leroy Sané. Tuchel decided to park the bus against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu in the Champions League with a 1-goal lead. In my opinion, that is the dumbest game plan you can have against us at this point. All we need is one goal to carry us to extra time. So now let's say that we get that goal and that's it. We go to extra time. We have attacking weapons. You do not at this point. Thomas Tuchel lost his team that game, period. Joselu came on for Valverde and the rest is history. I remember back at the start of the season when everybody was making fun of Real Madrid for not having a bona fide number 9. They said we weren't going to amount to anything this season because we went from Karim Benzema to Joselu. I remember sticking up for Joselu. I never thought he was as good as Karim Benzema, but I thought he could do a service in this team. The man does one thing and one thing well. He knows how to score goals. Vini collects the ball on the outside of the box. Then he looks up and he takes what I would say is a very hopeful shot. But that's Manuel Neuer and he's had an unbelievable game up to this point. Joselu doesn't care. He follows the ball into the box, so he's in a dangerous position to score if anything goes wrong. And something went wrong. Vini's shot took an awkward bounce and Neuer couldn't get a handle of it right away, and there was Joselu right in front of him, ready to pounce on the goal. So the game is tied and Madrid is still looking to get the next goal. So now Real Madrid are in a very interesting spot. Nacho recovers a loose ball, finds Rudiger. Rudiger plays a beautiful low-driven ball across the box into a very dangerous area. Jose Luis Mato San Martin is in the perfect position to give Madrid the lead. Positioning is key. Joselu not only saved Madrid from elimination, but he also gave us the victory. I will not tolerate any slander against Jose Luis Mato San Martin. People don't realize that it's players like this that give Real Madrid the edge. The drop-off between Madrid's starters and Madrid's substitutes is not as big as it is everywhere else. Our second team guys are better than yours, but a large part of that is because Madrid uses their players correctly. There is no structured and rigid and limiting system that limits the player's potential. Ancelotti fully understands the talent on this squad is crazy. And instead of forcing a player, a world-class talent, to play a certain structure or play style, he lets the players do things that they're good at, and he knows how they fit in within the structure of the team. That's why Madrid can deal with injuries. That's why Madrid can come back in games. That's why Madrid can dominate games. They're fluid. They're football. Football is art. It's not science. So instead of drawing up some convoluted play to try to get a goal, he understands what the team needs at that particular point in the game. So to make that adjustment, he uses a player who he believes is gonna give him something that the team needs. In this game, Madrid created a lot of opportunities to score, but the only thing that was missing was the actual final product. So he takes off Federico Valverde, a world-class box-to-box midfielder, and he brings in a player that can only do one thing. But that one thing was all his team needed. Carlo Ancelotti is equally as much of a genius as is Pep Guardiola. Guardiola implements a system and his players have to fall within the system, but it's led to a lot of success. Carlo Ancelotti is the exact opposite. His philosophy is a lot more fluid. It's based on his players on the team. It's actually really simple. Give players the opportunity to excel with their given attributes and try to limit some of their deficiencies. The culture at Real Madrid is undeniable. We care about one thing and one thing only, and that one thing is to win. I have said it before and I will say it again. It is very important to care about the people you are training alongside with day in and day out. So when I say that this is Friendship FC, I am dead serious and I fucking love this club. So now Madrid needs to shift their focus to Dortmund. Give them their respect and focus and lock in, boys. Because any team that has made it to the Champions League finals deserves to be here. Dortmund demands our focus and we have to give it to them. Because I don't think that people will fully comprehend the craziness of the season for Real Madrid. This Madrid squad is overachieving. Benzema left, so we don't have a number 9, right? All the injuries that happened to the back line, right? The keeper goes down. Everything is in shambles. Somehow, we still managed to win La Liga and we are now in the finals of the Champions League. Name another club that could go through all of that adversity and still find themselves in a position to win a double. But now, speaking of La Liga, Madrid was set to receive their trophy against Granada as the away team. I have now seen several reports saying that Real Madrid has requested a postponement of the trophy ceremony. One key reason being that Granada is in a relegation spot and Madrid want to be respectful, and they would prefer to do it at the Alaves game in front of their own fans at the Santiago Bernabeu. So now with La Liga basically over and Champions League is only one game left, I want to share a couple of my final thoughts on the team's season. First, I would like to acknowledge that Antonio Rudiger is crazy good. I genuinely believe that we have to have at least one crazy defender, and we have found our guy. Now he also leads me into the second point I want to make, is that Real Madrid make great deals. Rudiger was quite literally free. Jude Bellingham has given us our money's worth for damn sure. And they brought back Brahim as well, who's also a great option going forward. Joselu Mato San Martin is on loan, and Madrid have a 1.5 transfer clause in that contract. The recent transfers have all basically hit. You have Camavinga and Tchouaméni coming into the team and they fit perfectly. But I feel like that's because a lot of the older veteran players, they help them along, they bring them into the culture and they show them this is Real Madrid, this is what we do here. And it's very important for the team's development. Toni Kroos, Nacho Fernandez, Dani Carvajal, Luka Modric, these are world-class players that take their time with the young guys and they teach them the culture, they teach them how to behave, they teach them how to play within Real Madrid, they teach them the expectations and how to handle everything. And that's why I believe that the players step up when they're needed the most. Something happens that forces you into the spot, you are ready and you are willing to give everything you have. It's all about balance, and this team is perfectly balanced right now. Now, the final point I want to touch on is that people are saying that Vini Jr. might win the Ballon d'Or. I've seen several reports saying that he is even in fact the main candidate to win it. If that's how things play out, I couldn't be more happy for him. If you look back at his extremely rough start at Madrid, it's very impressive what he's achieved so far. He has put in the time and the work and the effort to become one of the best players in the world, and he's at a point where he might be crowned the best player in the world. He has stepped up in the biggest games for Madrid this season. I could not be more proud of Vini. Now, another interesting name on the candidates list is Jude Bellingham. For a large majority of the season, Jude Bellingham has played outstanding. Now I'm seeing people are comparing the two and trying to see who's more deserving, this or that. Even Madrid fans are kind of trying to pick a face for Real Madrid. But I'm here to say they both deserve it in their own way. But ultimately, it doesn't matter to me who wins, honestly. We have two players at 1 and 2 to be crowned the best player in the world. I think that's a pretty fucking good problem to have. But with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I really mean it. You guys have been so awesome. I've enjoyed everything about this season. All the ups, the downs, all the twists and the turns. Everything about it has been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But until next time, like always, a la Madrid.